Company summits had engulfed Evelyn Parker's entire morning, and she yearned for a brief respite to breathe fresh air before the afternoon boardroom talks began. At 28, she had built Parker Solutions into a billion-dollar advisory firm. Yet such triumph meant she rarely saw daylight during work hours. Tugging her soft cream coat closer against the December chill, Evelyn settled onto her beloved bench in Madison Square Park, where glowing fairy lights formed a magical roof despite thegently falling snow. She pulled out her phone to check financial forecasts when a small, shy voice broke her focus. "Pardon me, kind lady," it said softly. Evelyn looked up to see a young girl with golden curls standing in the snow, clutching a tattered stuffed bear against a tan winter jacket. The child, about 4 years old, had wide blue eyes filled with hope and sorrow that instantly captured Evelyn's heart. "Hello, little one," Evelyn said warmly, setting her phone aside. "Are you here with someone?" The girl shook her head, sadly. "My daddy's working in that tall building over there." She pointed across the street to an office tower. "But he's busy in meetings for a very long time." "Where's your mummy?" Evelyn asked, though the child's mournful gaze hinted at the answer. "I don't have a mama," the girl said quietly. "She went to heaven when I was a baby. Daddy says she watches me from the stars, but I can't see her." Evelyn's heart ached with compassion. "What's your name, sweetheart?" "I'm Grace," the child replied, hugging her bear tighter. "This is Mr. Snuggles. He keeps me company when Daddy's at work." "Grace, how did you get out here alone?" Evelyn asked, her concern deepening. "The babysitter lady fell asleep," Grace explained simply. "I got bored waiting for Daddy, so I came to see the pretty lights, but now I'm cold, and I miss having a mama." Grace gazed at Evelyn with a child's pure, earnest intensity. "You seem so nice, and your eyes are gentle like I think a mama's would be." "I don't have a mama." "Can I spend a day with you?" Evelyn felt tears well up at this brave girl who had ventured out alone, seeking a mother's warmth. "Grace, darling, we need to find your daddy right away. He must be so worried about you." "He doesn't know I'm gone yet," Grace said, sitting beside Evelyn on the bench without invitation. "Meetings make him so tired. He works a lot because we need money for important things." "What does your daddy do?" Evelyn asked, reaching for her phone to alert security. "He fixes computers for big companies," Grace replied. "He's really smart, but he gets sad sometimes when he thinks I don't notice." Evelyn felt a spark of recognition. "Grace, what's your daddy's name?" "Owen Reed," Grace said with pride. "He's the best daddy, but I think he's lonely too." Evelyn's breath caught. Owen Reed was the IT consultant she'd worked with for 3 months on her company's system upgrade. He was brilliant, professional, and had mentioned being a single father, but she'd never met his daughter. "Grace, your daddy works for my company," Evelyn said tenderly. "I know him, and he loves you so much." "You know my daddy?" Grace's face glowed with excitement. "Yes, and we need to call him right now," Evelyn said, dialing Owen's extension. As the phone rang, she kept her arm around Grace, who nestled into her coat. "Owen, this is Evelyn Parker. I'm in Madison Square Park with Grace. She's safe, but she left her babysitter and came outside looking for you." Owen's voice trembled with relief and panic, audible even to Grace. "I'll be right there. Thank you for finding her." While they waited, Grace chatted about the bear, her favorite stories, and her wish for someone to do mama things with her, like braiding her hair and baking cookies. "Miss Evelyn," Grace said, her eyes brimming with hope. "After Daddy comes, could you maybe spend some time with us? You smell sweet like flowers and have a lovely smile." Evelyn looked down at this motherless child who had touched her heart in just 15 minutes. "I'd love that, Grace." When Owen arrived, breathless and anxious, Evelyn saw him not just as the skilled IT expert, but as a devoted father stretched thin by single parenting and career demands. "I'm so sorry," Owen said, sweeping Grace into a tight hug. The babysitter was supposed to watch her, but she must have dozed off. Grace was very brave, Evelyn said, and Owen, she mentioned wanting someone to do mama things with her. If you're comfortable, I'd love to take Grace for a few hours this weekend. Owen looked surprised. Miss Parker, you don't need to do this because of work. This isn't about work, Evelyn said gently. Grace asked me to spend time with her, and honestly, I think I need her company as much as she needs mine. That Saturday, Evelyn discovered a joy she hadn't known she was missing. She and Grace baked cookies, wove ribbons into braids, painted nails in sparkly pink, and built a blanket fort where they read stories and shared dreams. Miss Evelyn, Grace said, cuddling in the fort, could you be like a mama tome sometimes? Not instead of my real mama in heaven, but like a mama here on earth. Evelyn felt overwhelmed by the trust and love this little girl offered. Grace, I think I'd love being your earth mama. Over the following months, Evelyn restructured her schedule around Grace's needs. She attended preschool programs, taught Grace to ice skate, and found her executive skills worked surprisingly well for bedtime routines and toddler negotiations. Evelyn, Owen said one evening as they watched Grace play dress-up in Evelyn's apartment. What you've given Grace is more than kindness. You've filled a void in her life I couldn't manage alone. Owen, Grace has given me something I didn't know I needed, Evelyn replied. She taught me that success means little without people to share it with. And what about us? Owen asked softly. What are we building as a family? Evelyn looked at Owen, seeing not just a colleague or Grace's father, but a man who had trusted her with his most precious bond. I think we're building something beautiful. A year later, as Evelyn officially adopted Grace and married Owen in a ceremony where Grace served as the flower girl, Evelyn reflected on how a chance meeting in a snowy park had given her the family she never knew she wanted. Mama Evelyn, Grace said during their first Christmas morning as an official family, thank you for letting me spend not just one day, but all my days with you. Thank you for teaching me that the most important business is loving a family, Evelyn replied, holding Grace close while Owen wrapped them both in his arms. Sometimes, Evelyn realized, the greatest meetings happen not in boardrooms, but on park benches where lonely hearts find each other in the snow.